Now, on a positive note, you're very talented. You play a lot of instruments. Now, tell me what kind of instruments you play and what made you get into the instruments you've started playing.
Well, first of all, my dad had a group, Umber group from Leamington Spa, so I got really involved with them, and then I used to, at that time, start Lal Singh Patiji, who's a very, very good dole player. He's a dole champion from Punjab. He stayed with us for 6 months, and then I used to always stay with him, and I was always interested, and he got me more into playing instruments. And then obviously I started going with the band. Sometimes I play the dole key, or sometimes play a bit of drums. I was just I hadn't really learnt or anything. But then obviously, while Lal Singh Patiji was staying at our house, Shinda Paji used to come to our house, Shinda, and and then obviously there was a connection there. Then slowly I met Paji Huni and started learning from them, and still learning from them now. And it's because of them I'm speaking to you today.
So what kind of instruments do you play then?
I try to play tabla, dholki, dole, harmonium, keyboards.
The list goes on. Wow. Because you also you play with Jazzy B. How did that start?
Well, that was obviously when I was learning with Shinda Paji. In those days, obviously, then Paji said, "Look, we'll start going with Jazzy." So then that was like must have been about 8-9 years ago now, maybe even more. So then I just started from there, and then and then obviously Shinda Paji had his own band. Then I was with them, and then obviously I started doing my DJ stuff as well. So it's any time, obviously Jazzy, we're like brothers, so it's whenever they need me, I'm there. So.
There's just so much more to Aman Hayer than a pretty face and a shiny t-shirt. Very talented. I'm very impressed. So all your albums have been, real hits. I mean, Ground Shaker was a real hit, and it was played all over the clubs, weddings, etc. Have you got any concerns that the expectations of the audience maybe won't be met with the Entourage album, or how do you make sure that you're sort of striving to succeed even more?
Even when Ground Shaker, I didn't think it would, do as well as it did.
A modest man.
And then when Ground Shaker 2 came, Sher Punjabi, again, it was a song, that we wrote, we got together. It sounded good, a lot of things I always look for, obviously, can people relate to the song? Mm-hmm. Can people, can it be played in a club? Can it be played at a wedding? After, seeing all these things, then I think, obviously this could work or that could. And same with Dollar, I thought, again, the wording, obviously, Mitra da na dollar ande vang chalda, and then we've said pound da de vang chalda, and nota vangu. So 3 things, so it can say the whole world basically. So if you've got pounds, you've got pounds. If you've got dollars, if you've got notes, whether it's rupees or whatever, so it can relate people in. So somebody at a wedding or something, like they do, throw money or it's just an idea. You don't know what's going to work these days.
Okay, yeah. And how would you say the flavour of the Entourage album is different to your previous albums?
I've tried to keep it a little bit more dissy this time, because obviously you've used rappers and everything, so I've used no rappers in this one, just to test it out. And obviously a lot of the tracks, like Miss Pooja track's quite dissy, KS Mukkan's track's quite dissy, they're quite dissy tracks, so it's just you've got to try different things. Obviously I've tried other kind of when I did Dil Nahi Lagda and Ek Wari Haan Kar De, and there's a romantic track in this one as well, more Bollywood typey. But it's just I'm just trying, hopefully.
Fab. Well, that's what it's all about, and lucky for you, the things that you're trying are working really well. So let's touch wood. Okay, so that's the questions that me and Kieran wanted to ask you. But there's been a couple of blogs on Punjab 2000, and lots of people have been signing in to ask you various different questions. The list is extremely long, so I've just sort of cut it down and selected a couple. So one person asked, is there anything in the pipeline in regards to religious albums coming out?
Yeah, I'm just getting a few things together now with all the artists obviously I work with.
Okay.
So lyrically I've been to a few writers, so we're just getting, it's just in the pipeline. So there's a few, obviously once I get a few I want to concentrate on it. It's not just an album that I'm just going to do.
No.
So I just want to concentrate a bit on it, so get a few of the albums out of the way, then a couple of months I can concentrate on it and get my singles on it. So
I look forward to it. Somebody else said, do you have, is there anything in terms of working with Jazzy B for a whole album rather than just selecting a couple of songs on different albums?
Not really, no. you know, I can't do what Shindabadi does. I don't think anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, Jazzy's new album's coming out now as well, which is going to be massive, so watch out.
Yeah. Okay, somebody else said, I'm sorry I've not got all the names here, so I say somebody. Somebody else asked, what are you currently listening to in your car?
And don't say your own album.
No, not now. I don't know.
When you drove down this morning, what were you listening
radio,
to?
really.
Okay.
Yeah,
What radio do you listen to?
I was listening to a bit of BBC 80 Network, sometimes Radio XL.
No CD in the car, I don't believe it.
No, not well. Sometimes, you know, maybe sometimes I'm doing mixes in the studio, then I have to listen to them.
So at the moment, which would you say was your favourite song? I mean, not on your albums, just generally, what are you listening to?
I think Yar and Mulle is a great track.
Fantastic, I love it.
You know,
yeah.
He's doing really well in Punjab, you know, and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he released his song without even, you know, it wasn't even released by a record label first.
Oh, okay.
He actually put it on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's how it sort of came
And it was in Canada
along.
then, and it hadn't been released, and it's playing on radio, and everybody was loving it.
Oh, we're loving it, yeah.
And then now it's, you know, it's big, it's huge everywhere.
And someone also asked, what's your favourite live band?
It's got to be Jazzy or Shindabani, both of them bands, isn't it?
Talking about the two, because you love talking about the two together, who would you choose?
In terms of music.
Well, it's Shindabani, isn't it? Yeah, because he's my teacher and inspiration, and you know, because of him.
What's your favourite instrument?
Has to be tabla, because tabla is the main, like, you know, from tabla you can play dolki, dol. It's the main root of all main instruments. So.
Also, would you ever teach?
Well, you know, I don't think I'm good enough to teach, really. So
spread the talent. You are too modest.
I would, you know, if I can help someone, I would help them, but not to that, you know, that kind of level.
Okay. Another person asked, this is so bad saying another person, but somebody else had typed, why is there no Lembird on the album? He's such a talented singer. How come you didn't choose him?
We did have a song of Lembirds, but it was quite an old song, and we couldn't get the rights to clear it. So in time, otherwise we would have to. It would have just, the album's already, you know, obviously it was going to release in March and whatever. So I didn't want to delay it anymore. So we just held it back. So hopefully it'll be coming in.
So there was some thought of including
yeah,
him in
definitely.
the album.
He's a great singer, and you know, amazing thing he's done around the world. You know, again, a singer come from nothing. You know, obviously he'd been singing for a long time. Nobody knew about him, and obviously he's come to UK producers have, you know,
and he smashed it
up.
Brilliant. What has been your most embarrassing thing that's happened to you? Not in life, but in terms of music, anything that's happened on stage or.
I think maybe when we're DJing sometimes, and once I remember, you know, the worst thing you always want is first dance to skip, and the only good thing was that they gave us the CD.
So you can blame them.
But still, you know, obviously the 500 people who were sitting there, they don't care, do they? And they but we did cover it, you know. We obviously bring it back and say we'll start this again and change the track or something.
Oh my,
that is bad. Yeah. And your biggest regret to date?
Musical regret or just life
anything,
regret?
Anything.
No, I've got no regrets.
Really?
Live life with no regrets. I love it. Right, well, that's fantastic. That's just a couple that I selected, and I hope that I've done Punjab 2000 proud. Sorry that I didn't select all, but it's just due to time, and there were so many of them. But on that note, there was loads of people who were really bigging your work up, and they're great fans, and carry on doing what you're doing because they're loving it, and so are we. Privileged to have interviewed you today, Aman. It's been great. All the success with your new album, all the success with your gigs, live performances, etc. And good luck for the future, I guess.
Thank you very much.
So that was Punjab 2000 with Aman Hayer, and I hope you enjoyed it.